Hi, I'm Dr. Zirianis, and thank you for joining us on this episode of OSD Go Read First Chapter Fridays. Today we're going to be reading part of the first chapter. The first chapter is very long, but part of the first chapter of the book Dry by Neal Shusterman. And just to give you a sense of what the book is about, when the California drought escalates to catastrophic proportions, one teen is forced to make life and death decisions for her family in this harrowing story of survival. So I hope you'll enjoy this part of chapter 1. Day 1, Saturday, June 4th. Alyssa. The kitchen faucet makes the most bizarre sounds. It coughs and wheezes like it's gone asthmatic. It gurgles like someone drowning. It spits once and then goes silent. Our dog, Kingston, raises his ears, but still keeps his distance from the sink, unsure if it might unexpectedly come back to life, but no such luck. Mom just stands there holding Kingston's water bowl beneath the faucet, puzzling. Then she moves the handle to the off position and says, "Alyssa, go get your father." Ever since single-handedly remodeling our kitchen, Dad has had delusions of plumbing grandeur. Electrical too. Why pay those through the nose for contractors when you can do it yourself? He always said. Then he put his money where his mouth was. Ever since we've had nothing but plumbing and electrical problems. Dad's in our garage working on his car with Uncle Basil, who's been living with us on and off since his almond farm up in Modesto failed. Uncle Basil's actual name is Herb, but somewhere along the line, my brother and I began referring to him as various herbs in our garden. Uncle Dill, Uncle Thyme, Uncle Chive, and during a period our parents wish we would forget, Uncle Cannabis. In the end, Basil was the name that stuck. "Dad," I shout out into the garage, "kitchen issues." My father's feet stick out from underneath his Camry like the Wicked Witch. Uncle Basil is hidden behind a storm cell of e-cig vapor. "Can it wait?" my father says from beneath the car, but I'm already sensing that it can't. "I think it's major," I tell him. He slides out and with a heavy sigh heads for the kitchen. Mom's not there anymore. Instead, she's standing in the doorway between the kitchen and the living room. She's just standing there, the dog's empty water bowl still in her left hand. I get a chill, but I don't yet know why. "What's so important that you gotta drag me out of a—" "Shh," Mom says. She rarely shushes Dad. She'll shush me and Garrett all day, but my parents never shush each other. It's an unspoken rule. She's watching the TV where a news anchor is blathering about the flow crisis. That's where the media has been calling the drought ever since people got tired of hearing the word drought. Kind of like the way global warming became climate change and war became conflict, but now they've gotten a new catchphrase, a new stage in our water woes. They're calling this the tap out. Uncle Basil emerges from his vapor cloud long enough to ask, "What's going on?" Arizona and Nevada just backed out of the reservoir relief deal, Mom tells him. They've shut the floodgates on all the dams, saying they need the water themselves. Which means that the Colorado River won't even reach California anymore. Uncle Basil tries to wrap his mind around it. Turning off the entire river like it's a spigot? Can they do that? My father raises an eyebrow. They just did. Suddenly the image switches to a live press conference where the governor addresses a gathering of antsy reporters. "This is unfortunate but not entirely unexpected," the governor says. "We have people working around the clock attempting to broker a new deal with various agencies." "What does that even mean?" Uncle Basil says. Both Mom and I shush him. As a precautionary measure, all county and municipal water districts in Southern California are temporarily rerouting all resources to critical services. But I cannot stress enough the need to keep calm. I'd like to personally assure everyone that this is a temporary situation and that there is nothing to be concerned about. The media begins to bombard him with questions, but he ducks out without answering a single one. "Looks like Kingston's water bowl isn't the only one that's run dry," Uncle Basil says. "I guess we've gonna have to start drinking out of the toilet, too." My younger brother Garrett, who's been sitting on the couch waiting for normal TV to return, makes the appropriate face, which just makes Uncle Basil laugh. "So Dad," says to Mom half-heartedly, "at least the plumbing problem isn't my fault this time." I go to the kitchen to try the tap myself, as if I might have the magic touch. Nothing, not even the slightest dribble. Our faucet has coated, and no amount of resuscitation will bring it back. I note the time, like they do in the emergency room. 1:32 p.m., June 4th. Everyone's going to remember where they were when the taps went dry, I think, like when a president is assassinated. Well, that's just a part of first chapter of the book Dry by Neil Shusterman. This book is available in the Oceanside High School Library, as well as the Oceanside Library, where I got this copy. So I hope you will check it out. Thank you for joining us on OST Go Read First Chapter Fridays.